Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off. But I still wake up and I see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
What do you stand for? This is perhaps the greatest and most difficult question a person can ask themselves. Some have overlooked the importance of this question and sat idly by and watched as their lives went into a tailspin, or simply passed them by. If you don't stand for something, you'll end up falling for anything. Standing for something means you have a legitimate purpose in life. It suggests that you actually believe in yourself and the goals you set out to accomplish each day. A man who is aware of his worth will refuse to take no for an answer and defend his honor even in the face of hostile criticism from opponents. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "A man who won't die for something is not fit to live." And Henry David Thoreau said, "Aim above morality. Be not simply good, but be good for something." We all need to stand for something. We need to understand how we fit into the larger picture and how we can leave the world a better place than we found it. We need to feel that we can make a difference, that there's something we can create, change, or improve to help other people. Studies show that a sense of purpose is one of the strongest indicators of happiness. It's not only beneficial to others, it's essential to our well-being that we find a way to give back. But we need to find it for ourselves, not because we should or because we want to look good, but because we genuinely care. Think about the following people. What did they stand for? Mother Teresa. She is one of the greatest inspirational people on this planet. Her love, affection, and kindness for the poor, homeless, and underprivileged knows no equal. Few people know that she was born into a wealthy family and could have simply enjoyed the privileged life. She gave it all up to serve those in need. Nelson Mandela. Nelson campaigned for justice and freedom in his native South Africa. He spent 20 years in jail for his opposition to apartheid. On release, he healed the wounds of apartheid by his forgiving attitude towards his former political enemies. Avoid thinking that these people began as extraordinary people in the first place. What about Nick Vujicic? What could you do if you didn't have any hands, arms, legs, or feet? Most would think that your life would amount to little or nothing. Well, that's not the way this guy thought. One of the most insightful and motivational speakers I've ever had the privilege of listening to, Nick has truly impacted this world. We had Nick here on Tuesday night several years back. He is an incredible man and has done much with nothing. And in the picture, I don't know if you noticed Bethany in there. Bethany's the girl who got her arm bit off by a shark. She didn't give up either. Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks became a well-respected figurehead of the American Civil Rights Movement. Rosa showed what ordinary people can do when they stick fast to their beliefs and test conditions. If you take the time to read about extraordinary people in their lives, you will quickly learn that many of them came from humble beginnings, and some from very hard and difficult backgrounds. You will also simultaneously learn that almost every one of them faced the same daily challenges that you and I do. They were cheated, let down, and failed, but every one of them never gave up or gave in to defeat. When you don't know what you believe in, everything becomes an argument. Everything is debatable. But when you stand for something, decisions are obvious. This quote comes from the book Rework. If you conform to the world and its ways as you have been asked to or told to, you will live just like everyone else and be no different. The limitations, the constraints, and the hurdles you'll face will be limited only by the thoughts and beliefs you have acquired from others. The wonderful truth about this fact is that your life is not limited by your abilities, capabilities, dreams, and desires. If you focus and act on the enabling factors rather than the factors you believe limit you, you can achieve the extraordinary. It's about character. What makes up a person's character? Well, a person's character is made up of moral qualities. Character can imply a variety of attributes. These can include virtues such as integrity, courage, fortitude, honesty, and loyalty. Character. Character is defined as the combination of qualities or features that distinguishes one person, group, or thing from another. This quote is from Pauline Phillips, whose pen name was Abigail Van Buren and is probably best known to us as Dear Abby. The best index to a person's character is how he treats people who can't do him any good, and how he treats people who can't fight back. In times of tremendous conflict, your character is revealed and your values are tested. See, a value becomes a value when it actually has to cost you something. So you may think that protecting the environment matters to you, but have you made any sacrifices for this value? See, the value of a value can be measured in terms of sacrifice of time, money, comfort, etc. You may think something matters to you, but has it ever cost you anything of value? If you think of yourself as just another ordinary person, then remember that every great person in history and living was once considered to be ordinary as well. They only became extraordinary because they identified and used their positive character traits and flaws rather than focusing on their disabling circumstances. Now take a moment to reflect back on your life, either just a few months or even years ago. You will see that you have grown, that you're in a better place today. This growth will continue. How it continues is entirely up to you. Thomas Edison said, "If we all did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves." And in Philippians 4:13 we read, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So the question remains, do you believe you can accomplish the things you set your mind to? What makes you different from such great people is your goals and your purpose in life. If you choose, you can change your world and make it amazing. If you choose, you can achieve your desires no matter how big or how small they are. Or you can choose not to learn and continue living your life from one problem to another. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't win, it's almost certain you won't. And if you think you'll lose, you've lost. It's all in the state of mind. When you think about the things you do, the first thing I want you to do is to connect to the reason why you do what you do. See, if we can figure out the why, it makes everything else we have to do a whole lot easier. Knowing what you believe in and setting up your life to reflect this is the way to start traveling the path that leads to success and ultimately greatness in everything that you do. I want you to take a few minutes and think about the quotes or scripture that inspire you most. What do these say about who you are? How do you get motivation out of these, and can these spur you on to do bigger and better things? Here's a few quotes that really inspire me. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Less is more, or the things you own will end up owning you. Quality is better than quantity. If it's hard, you're doing it wrong. And my favorite, advice we listen to, pain we obey. Choose one of these quotes or one of your own and begin really living it today. Add a scripture and put both to memory and watch what begins to happen in your life. If you know what you stand for, great. My question is, do the people in your life, the people that know you, do they know this? If they do, you're on the right track. If the people that know you best don't know what you stand for, maybe it's time to redefine what it is you really believe. Okay, we're heading off to small groups right now. Thanks again for listening, and remember to keep it real.